Hi, everyone. Happy Monday. And to those of us in the States, happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Um, I hope you get a second to reflect on your favorite message from Martin Luther King Jr. today. Mine is always darkness cannot drive out darkness, only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate, only love can do that. This concept of light and love. It's so overwhelming to the point where I'm fighting back tears. My whole body starts to buzz. I believe in light and love so much. Anyway, so just sort of been swimming in that concept today. I hope you get a second to sort of reflect on it and let it expand you and light you up. This morning I had a beautiful strategic story call with one of my clients, Maria. She is a life coach for women after divorce, and she's expanding more into this concept of transition this year. So our work over the last quarter has been creating several essays that she's had published on Better After 50. I think we're working on her fourth piece right now being published. Better After 50 is seen by 3.4 million women a year. Perfect clientele for her. And where she wanted to go this year in her strategy overall business, hi Nisha, is giving talks to groups. That's something I'm very familiar with. I've been doing that for 6 years. So what I wanted to do really quick today for you guys is give you some tips on how what you've already created and what you already have published can easily fit into a speech of sorts. So you have to understand the format of a speech or a talk. You call it what you want: keynote, talk, speech. I love the term workshop, and many of these coordinators or these bookers are looking for leaders to come in and provide their audience with content, but is takeaways. The easiest way to do that is workshop. People get to see how you jive, how you move, if they resonate with you or not. Your time up in front of a captive audience is really your addition. And so workshops, in my opinion, shine the biggest, brightest light on us. They typically get breakfast or lunch with whatever presentation you give them. So they're looking for a lot of value. My experience over the last couple of years has been that these networking groups are looking for 20 minutes, keynotes, talks, speeches, workshops, whatever word you want to use. And so what Marie and I did today in her strategy and story session is we decided we're going to break out 2 talks that she can create as signature talks and then rotate them essentially throughout her year. Most of the networking groups have already booked their presenters for this first quarter. If you're lucky and you get in an application still in January, you could be looking at presenting in March, but most likely more like Q2 and Q3 and Q4. So here's how you should kind of structure your overall talk theme. Consider it in terms of acts. You have 3 acts in a 20-minute presentation, in my opinion, at least in my experience. This is how I've run mine, and they've led to, I've been up on stage for 20 minutes, and I've walked away with a $1,000 client, a $4,000 client, a 2 additional speaking gigs. It just sort of flows, right? So I'm giving you tips that I've used that have worked for me. I look at a 20-minute talk in terms of 3 stages. 3 acts. The first act is really the setup, the introduction, the view into the problem. The second act is your solution to the problem, exercises, tips, techniques that you're going to offer. And I don't ever offer more than 3 in a 20-minute talk. The last act is the workshop. So you're posing questions to your group, your audience, Q&A or show of hands, who wants to share, no more than 2 shares per question. And that section, that last act, is their opportunity to dig in and find their own aha moment, grow out of their own comfort zone, and then you make an offer or invite somebody to, give you your business card, download this free thing, whatever it is. So oftentimes the networking groups don't allow you to make offers anymore. And so you have to find your way around that. So here's some tips on maneuvering around that whole realm. One of the most successful things I've seen, I don't have it in front of me. It's over at the other table. I saw they're like little tiny business cards laminated with affirmations on one side, contact information on the back. Beautiful. It's a takeaway. I've seen pieces of paper that they're able to write notes on the top, and on the bottom you rip it away and you leave them with an opportunity to book a free 30 minutes and their choice. Like, this is for them to take if they want. And sometimes offers can be a free thing, it can't be a paid thing. So that's always an option too. And the last thing is just leaving information on the table for them to use and contact you. So like free tips or an ebook or something like that. There's a lot of regulations and rules around how we work as in that keynote space. But so anyway, I want you to think of your theme and then find a way to get clear on one overall headline. Sometimes what you've already created, what you've already published, could easily be stuck into your first act or your second act. Your third act will most likely not have been written already. But in my strategy and story session with Maria this morning, we found that we've got these 4 essays already written, 3 out of the 4 are published, and all 4 of those pieces can be stuck into acts 1 and 2 of these 2 talks that we're creating for her for the year. So this first one, her first story and her third story are matching up, and we're molding into a talk. The next speech that we're creating, her second story and her fourth story are being matched up and moved into a talk for Act 1 and Act 2. So a lot of times what we've already created can easily be transformed into a talk if you look at it in terms of the story arc. Act 1 is your setup and your problem. Act 2 is your solution and the lessons. And then Act 3 is the workshop. So feel that out, see how that works. If you have any questions or problems with that, book a free 30-minute call with me at callwithcarrie.com. If you're looking for a strategy and story session, this is what we do. We talk for 90 minutes, we break down your content, and we find your talks within that time. And I'm happy to talk about that with you as well. So I hope that helps you guys. I hope you have a beautiful day. Happy storytelling. Happy Monday. Happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. I love you guys. Thanks for being here.